y'all? Try to let some people pop in. I wanted to talk about this whole Jane Doe, Shauna, or what's her name? Reshona Landfair. Reshona Landfair finally comes out and talks about R.Kelly. Um, you know, shares her story about the sex tape back in 2001, the infamous sex tape back in 2001, right? And I see the interview actually came out with CBS Morning or CBS News 11 hours ago. My whole thing with it is, why say something now? You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, could it be for clout? I'm not saying that she is not telling the truth, but it's like, what took you so long? Because you didn't come out with the pack. I mean, not the rap with the pack. You didn't come out when all the other women, all the other females came out and spoke about R. Kelly. You know what I mean? It's just like, why wait now to say something? Could she possibly be working on something? Could she be working on music, a book, you know, a new career path? But it's just odd that she's coming out now and speaking about this. You know what I mean? It's very kind of, it's definitely kind of strange for her to be coming out right now and saying, and speaking about this. And she's 41 years old, you know, breaking her silence before the release of her, oh yeah, I forgot, she is dropping a book. She's dropping a memoir. So that's just another code word for a book. So she's coming out right now, right? And I forgot that I read that on Double XL. Y'all can go check that out. But she's coming out with a memoir. Isn't that how it's pronounced? Talking about this, and I knew that the reason why she was coming out, because she's dropping a book. That's just another word for a book. So obviously she done got a book deal or dealing with some publisher or something like that, and she's finally coming out. Can I fly? Yeah, that's my superpowers. Yeah, she's coming out with a book, so it will only make sense for her to come out right now. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel. But she's finally coming out because she's dropping a book. You know what I mean? She's coming out right now because she's dropping a memoir about this whole thing. So if she was never dropping a book, she would never, she would have never be coming out, basically. So that's just odd to me, you know what I mean? But everything is for clout, because she could have just dropped a book. So she gotta find some way to sell her book. Oh, well, I'm putting out a book, so this would be, the perfect time to, tell my story, because I gotta sell this book. And I think it's just like, you know what I mean? But she, saying that that was her on the tape and back in 2001, it's just very odd to me, So that's why I say she's doing this for clout. She's definitely doing this for clout. And it's just like, come on, you could have, if you really, really felt some type of way, or you was, and I'm not saying anything, but if this has really messed your life up, why say something now? Because you're coming out with a book. And once again, I blame the parents. Why would you let your 14-year-old daughter be around a grown man? I don't give a damn if he was the deacon at a church. Why let a 14-year-old child that's 14, you what, ninth grade? Be around a grown man. At the time, R. Kelly, what, probably was in his 30s, you know what I'm saying, 34, 35, something like that. Why let your 14-year-old daughter be around a grown man like this? And I didn't even know, or period, or why even do it? And I seen that she just did an interview. I didn't know the interview was already out. The interview came out 11 hours ago, so that was yesterday, pretty much. Um, it just doesn't make any sense, And really, some of these parents need to be looked at, because basically y'all was selling y'all kids off to a grown man for stardom. You know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy to me. But the interview is already out. I didn't even know it was already out. But I'm definitely got the interview pulled up. What's good, Mike? What it do? What it do? Man, so and shout out to everybody that pulled up yesterday at my Uncasa interview, man. It went better than I even expected myself. Shout out to everybody that subscribed, that pulled up. If you haven't checked that out, go check out my interview with Uncasa. Definitely was a good interview. It's uploaded on my page right now, so definitely go and check that out. Meek Mill, I ain't no goddamn Meek Mill. Yeah, I'm about to get into this interview. Like I said, I didn't know it was even out just yet. It came out, like I said, with CBS Mornings. I guess this a little morning show that they do now, because it's called CBS Morning, obviously. But let's hear from the horse's mouth of what she's really talking about. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy though. This is something else.
Well, I'm doing well. I feel present.
When I think about the amount of time that has passed based on how long you knew R. Kelly, I think so many people have wanted to hear from you for so long. How does it feel to not be Jane Doe anymore?
Anymore.
It feels very rewarding. It feels very liberating, um, which was a part of the reason why I wanted to write this book, because I really wanted to live in my true skin and my true self.
And your true self today is what?
Get them likes up. Get
My
them
true
likes up.
self
Get them
today
likes up. Tap the
is
like button.
Reshona Landfair.
Subscribe to the
Not
channel.
Jane Doe, not Sean. It's who I am as a person, who I am as a mother, a friend, a daughter, a colleague, etc.
You dedicate this book to your dad, your son, and you say your inner self. Who else would you say this book is for?
This book is for every person who has gone through some sort of trauma or some sort of uncomfortable moment in their life where
So
they
now you want to
blamed
speak out.
themselves, were
So
ashamed
now
or
she wants to
embarrassed
speak out.
to live in their true skin, and just really took the faults of other people and, kind of hid behind that. So it was just really freeing for me, and I wanted to share my experience with people who have been in similar situations.
You obviously talk in this book about how it started. You don't start at the moment people start talking about you or knowing anything about who you are and who you're associated with. But you describe at length how it started. You mention your aunt, the artist Sparkle, who used to work with R. Kelly. I want to read some of it from
Oh yeah, Sparkle
page
is her
18.
aunt.
You say in the book,
Lock her ass up.
the next time we're at the studio, this is what you say, Sparkle said. You say your aunt told you the next time we're at the studio, you...
And hold on. Let me say this. That's the thing, right? That's what I was reading about too. Her auntie is Sparkle. Which I don't know how good she did in her career. I think she used to kind of like help R. Kelly write songs, and she did a lot of work with R. Kelly. If that's your aunt and you was 14, right? Sparkle, I'm quite sure, knew what type of person R. Kelly was, because I always heard about Sparkle You know what I mean? I think she was like a songwriter or whatever. Um, and that's really your aunt. Why would she even let her be around somebody like R. Kelly? Obviously, she didn't care. They didn't care about. She didn't care about her niece. Well, as her mother, I don't know if her mother was around or her dad or whoever. If that was her guardian, whoever. But why would you let your 14-year old niece, like I said, 14 years old, you're in the ninth grade. You just getting out of middle school. Why would you let your 14-year-old niece be around a man like R. Kelly? You know what I'm saying? And I'm quite sure you was aware of the things that he was participating in and he was doing. But I'm gonna let her finish it. You did.
You should ask Robert to be your godfather. Aunt Sparkle explained that I should sit on his lap
See
and
what I'm
rub
saying?
his head while I asked him to be my godfather.
Oh my God. So now they treating him. So now they treating him like a genie. Sit on his lap and rub his head. That's some genie shit. Like, what? At 14, sit on his lap and rub his head. So basically, this is what is the word I'm looking for? Basically, they was just selling a kid off. You know what I'm saying? Sit on his lap and rub his head at 14. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Cool.
This instruction seemed sort of weird since I hadn't
Can
sat
you
on his
think?
lap before, but I didn't question it. When you think back, is
Y'all didn't
that
question it. Well,
where
oh
it
my
all
God.
begins? Is that the
Woo!
start?
Jesus,
That
save
is
him.
the start. That is the start of him entering into my life in a different way than just being an artist or hanging
Yeah,
around
I
at the
bet. I
studio.
bet.
It
I bet it
became
did.
more
Yeah,
personal
yeah,
at that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Because you yourself were an artist. You were a part of a rap group. You had toured Europe. You'd been to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was your aunt, you said, that introduced the family to R. Kelly because he's this successful artist from Chicago.
Man, y'all was trying to
At
sell
this
her
time, was
off.
really starting to blow up,
Point
along
blank,
with the group
period.
that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting, exhilarating, fun to be around him. Is kind of how you describe it in
A
the
grown. So
beginning.
you.
I mean, this is a
Hold on, hold
big.
on. So it was fun to be around a grown man at 14, and y'all thought that was cool. Y'all thought that was, a child, still, because she was underage, just gotten into high school. If she, made it past the eighth grade, and because when you're, like I said, once again, when you're 14, you're in the ninth grade. You're in the ninth grade. At least you're supposed to be, right? So you're 14 in ninth grade, and y'all thought that was cool for her to be around a grown man, to sit on his lap and treat him like he's Santa Claus or somebody and rub his bald head. Good job. That was great. Fantastic.
Superstar, and you have
Yes.
access to him like, hey, I want to hang out in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And at the
Sure, at
time, in the
14.
beginning, he's treating you like a normal, excited kid that wants to learn more about the business.
Correct.
So when do things turn? And I know you go into great detail,
Mm-hmm.
the early stages and why this is so complicated, your mindset
Mm-hmm.
at that time.
Well, during the time that I met him, I'm also a teenage girl who's going through puberty. And so
So
some of
you
the things
think?
that I was thinking or feeling were just normal expressions to, my maturity level at the time. And so it starts very innocent. It starts, you know, being mesmerized and, like you said, like admiring this person. And then, it kind of gets a little deeper or more complicated when that person is able to, see what you can't see, the way you're developing, your conversation, your personality traits. So it kind of became more complicated when he started analyzing me and, the things that I was going through and who I was becoming as a person. And again, I was excited and mesmerized to, be under his wing and to be a part of his habitat. So that's how things kind of unfolded.
So we know that things progress beyond looking out for you as almost like a goddaughter. and it turns into something more than that. I want to go and stay with your aunt Sparkle, who I've interviewed before. And she was the first person
She should be a
to
goddamn
really sort of
shame on
say,
herself.
you need to go check over there. Something's not right.
Right.
I think there's something going on that should not be going on. In the book, you describe social services coming to your home to do a welfare check. And your parents are shocked. They think perhaps maybe she's just jealous because she's no longer affiliated, associated with R.Kelly. And then obviously 2001, 2000.
And see, that's the thing right there. Her aunt was even no longer affiliated with R. Kelly. Get them likes up. Which is Sparkle, right? And I do remember hearing a few songs from her back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But she, at that point or sometime down the line, wasn't even affiliated with R. Kelly. And y'all still let her be around R. Kelly. And I blame Sparkle, which is her aunt. Seemed like that's her real aunt, her auntie. Why would y'all continuously let her be around her? And obviously it was something, I mean, why would y'all continuously let her be around him? And obviously it was something, the reason why Sparkle wasn't around him no more, because she knew what type of person he was. That's why they know her. If the parents didn't know, and that's your aunt, come on, like, it wasn't hard to see. It wasn't hard to tell. So for her aunt and her parents, or whoever her mom or dad or whoever her guardian was, continuously let her at that age be around him, was they on drugs? Was they, you know what I'm saying? Like, what type of household did she grow up in? Because anybody think that's cool for a 14-year-old child to be around a grown man, you gotta be on some type of booger, sugar, something. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be getting hot. Like, what's wrong here? Like, this whole situation is just so crazy to me. But this shit doesn't make any sense.
2002, we're talking about the tape. But why don't you think anyone believed your aunt Sparkle when she first raised a red flag about a possible inappropriate relationship?
I don't think they believed her because there were no obvious signs of what was actually taking place. It was more coming from her end, maybe looking like a motive from, like you said, not being around him. And those
Hit that
kind
like
of
button. Get them
questions
likes up.
or
Hit that like button.
concerns
Hit that
didn't
like
happen
button.
until she was no longer a part of, his camp or the things that were taking place, her as an artist. That's when those questions started to raise.
Chapter 7, you call it stress fractures. And you say it was a couple of weeks before your 17th birthday. You say, Robert told me the copies of one of the sex tapes of 14-year-old me were beginning to be sold on the streets of Chicago and across the country.
That's crazy.
Your reaction to that when you think about hearing those words from R. Kelly, that this tape is out there and you were 14 years old?
Right.
I was empty. I was very hollow inside. I was very confused. Didn't know what to expect.
No, you wasn't hollow. You wasn't confused, because even at 14, yeah, you young, you underage, right? You at that point in time, you knew right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? You knew good from bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure you know how to tie your shoe and, pick up the phone, all type of stuff. So no, you was just with it. You know what I'm saying? Even at 14, but I don't even blame you because you're 14, you're still underage. It's not like you're 18, 19, 20, right? So I blame her mother, you know what I'm saying? And even when Sparkle went and tried to probably tell them, her mother or her parents or whatever, or whoever her guardian was, why they didn't fight harder for her, far as not being around. Like, this whole thing is just confusing. But like I said, she's selling the book or whatever. But even at that time, why not do all you can for your niece, your daughter, not to be around somebody like R. Kelly. And not, you know, everybody rock with R. Kelly even to this day, as far as music wise. You know, he done made some very good music, you know, classics. But him as a person, why would y'all continuously, once again, let her just be around him? You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't try to go and get no detective or no private investigator or nothing. So y'all just said it is what it is.
Um, and I was embarrassed.
I want to read part of that in terms of just sort of what you were feeling at that time, because at some point, the remedy for this, according to, you know, you refer to him as Robert in the book, is that he wants to tell your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, Robert told me how he would tell my parents the truth about us. My mom and I were in one room, and my dad and Robert were in another. You go on to say some other things, but eventually...
Hold on. And her dad was around? So you mean to tell me, and like I said, I didn't even know none of this, but her dad was around, because she just stated that her dad was in another room talking to, so her actual father, whoever he was, stepfather, biological father, was actually around. So go slap the shit out of him too, if he's still alive. Go, you know what I'm saying? Go get him, go get the mama, go get everybody, lock their ass up. You know what I'm saying? Her father was actually around. Well, he needed to get punched in the face as well. You know what I'm saying? Go stump him out. Go lock him up. If he's still around, go get him. Go get the mama, Sparkle, the dad. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't even know her dad was around. You know what I'm saying? Her father was around. Somebody need to go and man, you know what? I'm not gonna even say nothing. But for him to let his daughter be around him, man, that says a lot. That just says a lot about her family. You know what I'm saying? Point blank period. Because at the time when she first got around R. Kelly, she was 14. Now, you know, fast forward, she just stated that, you know, during this whole conversation that I need to change that light back there. But anyway, that she was 17. Well, fast forward, she was 17. So maybe when she first got around him, maybe he wasn't around, maybe he was locked up himself. But even at that point in time, I'm quite sure he was hearing about certain things. So you don't, when you talk to him, no fights break out, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is your daughter, right? You know what I'm saying? So nothing happened. You didn't stall on R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? You didn't try to beat him up, nothing. Yeah, all right, cool, great. This is fantastic. I love this.
You get to this part. After a while, Dad came storming out of the room, crying hysterically
Just
and
crying
cursing,
like a
saying
pussy.
to R. Kelly,
Man.
"You're sick. I can't rock with you. I can't help you. You need to get help." He yelled at Robert, who followed us into the elevator and was on his knees crying.
I would have been going to prison.
Man, I'm sorry. I just love her.
What?
So
This
the
is
turning
sick.
point from innocent goddaughter running around just trying to learn the music industry to something more like you're trying to make sense of why he's calling you and saying, you know, what are you wearing, this type of thing, to now you're confronted with something that's out there and he's saying the solution is just tell them. I know it looks crazy, but I believe you're my angel, as you refer to in the book. And your dad initially is upset. He's crying. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on.
He knew what was going on.
Why wasn't that the moment when you look back where you were not allowed to see R. Kelly anymore, be around him? Take us to why it was so complicated for you and your family and what you said to your parents.
It was very complicated. My dad wanted to make the right decision, and he was not okay with anything that took place. I was more under Robert's brainwash. I was more under his spell, and he utilized me against my parents, making threats of suicide and doing different things out of
Huh?
desperation to convince them to not turn on him. And because I had been groomed for so long to carry out this mission and also not want that girl on the videotape to be myself, I thought in my little mind that maybe that was the best approach. We felt more protected and had more resources and help through him than taking matters into our own hands with this celebrity and the industry and not wanting to be the people to end R. Kelly and deal with hatred and many things. So, I mean, I'm not here to sugarcoat any shortcomings of my parents or myself, but at the time, that's what made us feel the safest.
You felt as though R. Kelly was holding all of the cards, had all of the power.
He did.
How did you make
That's
peace
crazy.
with your parents later? Because that's also something, I mean, even at the beginning of this interview, speaking of dedicating the book to him, and my condolences because I know he passed away in 2021. But how were you able at this age to make peace with everything that's happened and your parents' involvement?
When you become a parent, you have a different way of thinking. But I also look at the other women and the other survivors and the other, people who, he dealt with, who lost total communication with their parents and their families and literally lived everything that he made them think or everything that they made him feel.
Yeah.
So, in a sense of why it might be presented to look a certain way, my parents
Get them
actually
likes up.
saved
Hit
me.
that like button.
They're the reason why I'm sitting here today. Because if it had not been for them, if I lost complete communication with them and I was literally living his dreams, his brain, his way of thinking, I don't know where I would be. Mentally, physically, or emotionally.
When the trial started and the questions from federal investigators are coming, when you look back again, so much of this is people being able to try and understand it through your lens. You're living it. You're the only one with this story. Why not tell the truth in 2002 or 2008 when there was finally a trial after 6 years?
That's one of my biggest regrets, not telling the truth. But again, when
Hold on. So she had a chance to tell the truth, and she, a couple, some years back, and she didn't tell the truth. So she lied. Like, what was the point of lying? Because even by then, you're grown, but she was in fear of her life. Because you say 2008, R. Kelly was still here. You know what I mean? So I don't like. So she was lying for like, this is crazy, y'all. This is sick. This is some sick stuff.
I have been trained and groomed since I was age 13, I started believing the lies that I was telling. It was very foggy and unclear on what I really felt versus what was right or what was wrong. And even in moments where I despised Robert, I still lied for him.
When I look back at that trial, even this idea that people who were not part of the jury were able to see some of that video. And the jokes that came from the video, because we're talking about seeing a person at the time, not knowing who it is, for sure, being urinated on and talked about. Do you look at even the justice system as not protecting you to some extent? I mean, thinking about that video being played before a gallery of everyday citizens.
I definitely think things could have been handled differently. I'm happy I wasn't there to witness everyone watching that. To the world imagery, I was not made to be a victim. I was a mockery. And that was very difficult to digest. It was very
Mm.
disheartening to know that my body was just being displayed and tossed around. And, you know, when I look back on it, I wish things could have been done different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like she just said, basically. So you knew, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so she knew what she was doing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she got goddamn Down syndrome or she's retarded or slow, and that's no shade to, you know what I'm saying. And I'm not, trying to downplay nobody that has that, but I'm just saying like she perfectly knew what was going on. She perfectly was with it because it seems like she was around him from the age of 14 to maybe seven, well, of course, 17, 18, right? So that's years that you was around him. Like, when you're around somebody like that, you already see what type of person they are. You know what I'm saying? You could spend a couple of weeks with somebody, maybe even a couple of days, and okay, I see what type of person you is. I know these are the type of things you into. Okay, you don't really like to smoke like that or drink. But so she knew all of this. You know what I'm saying? She's coming out now to sell that book. Bottom line, the memoir. She's coming out for those reasons. You know what I'm saying? Because you just said in 2008, she was still basically covering for him. She still she still didn't even want to speak up. But if this was really affecting your life, and I'm quite sure it did, why not say something then? You know what I'm saying? Why not say something back in 2008? Yeah, he was still around. He was still out and everything, still making moves, still making music, writing, producing. But at that, I'm just saying, because if somebody violates you in that type of way, you know what I'm saying? You come on. So it was she still messing with him, even, you know what I'm saying, in 2008, 9, 10? She probably was. She probably was, but let's see.
Really, but those are all of the things that I had to internalize.
How were you able to sit through the trial in the parking lot? Because I think to know that you were so close to the trial that could have put R. Kelly away back then,
Exactly.
and listen to his instruction. Don't watch television. Don't read the paper. I mean, this wasn't the same, social media wasn't a thing.
Oh man, come on, hold on. So he told her, don't watch television, don't read the paper. Don't watch television, don't read the paper. Don't watch man. He was right. So you mean to tell me he was almost on some like cult type ish, you know what I'm saying? And you was just listening to every word, his every demand. And by then you what, 17, 18. So okay, even if, let's just say at 14 you didn't know, right? Right from wrong, let's just say hypothetically. At 17, you knew exactly what it was. You're damn near a full grown woman. And this is the thing, right? Even at 17, you're most females is more mature than dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. It's been that way from the beginning of time. So even at 17, you knew what was going on. So even at 14, okay, whatever. Even though your peoples, they need to get, long live your pops and all of that, but your dad and stuff like that. But your mom, your aunt, Sparkle, okay, they need, but even at 17, you know what I'm saying? You was that brainwashed and that just head in the clouds to where this man told you don't even read the paper, don't watch the news. Wow, okay, yeah, great.
2008 the way that it is now. But take us back to, and I know you're going to get a lot of these types of questions because most of this book is based on the past and how you've been able to come out of it. But take us back to what it was like being in a van and knowing that just a few hundred feet away, his life was on the line.
That was very scary. I didn't understand why he wanted me there, why he made those choices, but I just went with the program. It was very difficult because I would also be paranoid. Like, what if somebody raids the bus, or what if the wrong person walks on here? But I don't know if he did it for comfort, of not wanting, of being afraid of me just having the freedom to just walk out if I wanted to.
Right.
But he kept me very close in that way.
What was your reaction to that 2008 not guilty verdict? You talk about it in the book, but tell us how you were really feeling at that time.
I felt happy for him. I didn't want to see.
Whoa, wait a minute. She just said she felt happy for him. She just said when the verdict came out in 2008 that he wasn't guilty. She just said out her own mouth, we all hear this, right? That she felt happy for him. So that just sums everything up I've been saying this whole time. She was with it. She was with it. Her parents was with it. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning. And she was with it. So even when you got older, she was with it. I felt happy. So you got to really listen and pay attention to the words that people be saying. She just said, I felt happy for him. So you was happy for him. Because happy, sad, that's all the feelings, all emotion. So you was happy that the verdict came out that he wasn't guilty. So that let me know that you was with the shenanigans, the BS the whole time. And she's coming out to sell the memoir. Great job.
His career end, I didn't want to see him taken from his family.
Oh,
I thought
Jesus.
things were going to change for him, for us. I thought things would just get a lot better. I thought this was our freedom to just be family, and to, all of the different traumas and me having to hide and disguise myself and be lonely and away from my family. I thought that was closure to all of the negative things that he kind of made me feel like had to happen during this case that lasted for so many years.
And at this point, too,
I'm confused like a man.
Right.
So you're thinking, yeah, this stuff happened, but this is our chance to reset.
Right.
But
Hold on. So was he your boyfriend, mentor, or pimp? Because I'm what I'm hearing is like my ears is like, you know what I'm saying? It's like oh my God, like, so we're all in a relationship? Because you just said I didn't want him to go to jail, prison. I felt help. I was feeling happy that he beat it. So you was happy for him. So once again, you was with it. And you just said this gave y'all a chance to reset for y'all family. Like, oh, this gave you a chance to reset for your family. Okay. But you wanted him to be out. You know what I mean? Because he probably was still messing around. Okay, so now everything is making sense. So you wanted him to be out. You was happy for him. This gave you and your family a chance to reset, or maybe it gave you and the family you wanted with him to reset, because you just said you was happy for him. Great. This is, oh man, this shit is getting great. It's like a good movie.
What happened?
Things got worse. And then I started realizing that I had been used and utilized for a purpose. That I was a placeholder. That I was here to make sure Robert didn't go to jail. Not because he loved me, not because he was my protector, or because I was his angel. My purpose was done. He was finished.
And you talk about moving out and
oh my God.
starting your own, going on vacation, really getting a taste of what it is to be independent. But even though you left R.
This is
Kelly, you left the
crazy.
home, you never quite left his orbit. Explain.
His orbit. Pah!
That was definitely me operating out of cognitive dissonance. It was more so like I knew things were wrong. I
Get
knew
them likes
everything
up. Hit that
that
like button. Hit
I
that
went
like button.
through,
Hit that like button.
but this is all I've known for
Subscribe to the channel.
the majority of my life. This is the behavior that was my normal and that I felt like was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of afraid to operate outside of him. I didn't know what to do. I had to literally learn myself from a 12-year-old girl up into who I was to today.
Yeah. And that was hard to
It was very
completely let go.
difficult.
January 3rd, 2019, Surviving R. Kelly airs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see all six? It's a 6-part series. Did you see all of it?
I
or
don't.
just some
I
of
don't
it?
know if I saw all of it, but I saw enough.
And you thought then,
So she just said she didn't. She don't think she's seen all of it. She's seen enough. That lets me know she didn't. She didn't really watch it, because if you was really going through what you went through with R. Kelly, you would have watched every episode, every the whole thing, front, back, front, upside down, inside out, turn around. Man, listen, she was with the whole thing for the whole situation. Her parents, they knew what type of daughter that they had. They knew she was hot in the ass, right? And she probably did have some type of talent, maybe could sing or whatever, or I'm guessing, what I'm saying, a rap, or most likely sing. And they sold her off, basically, damn near like an auction, because they knew allegedly R. Kelly could get her to the next point. So I guess they didn't. The whole Aaliyah, R.P. Aaliyah, they never heard nothing about her. I mean him and Aaliyah. So that just flew right over their head. But all right, cool.
That was the spirit of conviction came over me during that moment.
because of that documentary, that docuseries.
Yes.
And when you say the spirit of conviction, what do you mean by that?
Somehow I felt responsible.
Oh my God.
That he was able to hurt so many more people. During the time, I thought maybe these were just sexual fetishes that he had with me. Maybe this was just abuse I was going through. But when I saw that his behavior had gotten so much worse.
Man, listen, I swear, Mike, you're a smart man. I was, oh my God. I was just, let me stop swearing. I was just about to say, fake tears. You could look how she's looking at. Oh my God! Look how she's looking into the camera. Look at that, man. Listen, man. Listen. I was just about to say that. I put it on everything I love. You took the words out my mouth, man. Listen. She was with, when I keep saying this, I'm done saying it because I done said it so much. She was with the whole thing, man. She was with this, point blank, period. She wasn't, she didn't care about the other accusers. A reason why she said that was because now she finally finds out, oh shit, I'm not the only one. What females do when, even with a regular guy, oh damn, I'm not the only one. Now you feel some type of way, because now you're no longer the only one that's being taken down. You know what I'm saying? He was beating the Doonies down. Yeah, trying to pull a tear out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like trying to build up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen a person and they try to act like they mad, or like, man, she was with it. She felt that way because she finally realized that she wasn't the only one that was being taken down. She thought She was the only one that Robert Kelly, R.Kelly, was messing with. That's what it was. No, I'm not blaming. I'm evil. No, no, no. I'm not evil. What I'm saying is this, right? First and foremost, let's just say this. She was 14 when she got with R. Kelly. So regardless of the fact, right, you gotta blame her parents. Because like I said earlier, before you godness of mine, you gotta understand she was 14. She just said she was 14, right? So she was 14, you gotta blame her parents, first and foremost. Because why would your parents and your aunt, which is Sparkle, be around him? Why would they let you be around him at the age of 14? Boom. Sparkle stopped messing with him. Sparkle is trying to tell her parents what is going on. They're not trying to really hear it. I even blame Sparkle because she could have even did something on her behalf, but okay. She tried to tell her parents, yo, this is what's going on. This is what happening. Fast forward, time go by. Boom. She said, not because they got to the part where she was 17 and all of this and that, right? So she's still around him. She only feel the way she feeling right now at this point because of this book that she's trying to put out. Because even in 2008, she just said she was happy for him. I will go to Chicago. Man, come on, listen. I will go to Chicago. I don't have listen. I'm from Detroit. Listen, and that don't mean nothing. But that means nothing. But I will. No problem. I definitely would. I don't give a man, listen. Her people was with it. Bottom line, point blank, period. Her peoples was with it. Sparkle tried to put her dad and her mom on game about what was going on. Her dad didn't swing a punch, throw a shoe, nothing. Didn't get a private investigator, nothing. You know, couldn't make the time. She started crying after. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Mike. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she in here in the chat calling me evil and all this and that. No, I'm just calling it for what it is, for what I'm hearing, from what we're hearing. I'm just calling it from and yeah, Mike, you from Chicago? Right. Everything that I'm saying, she really, I don't have to say anything, honestly. She's already saying it. I'm just basically giving the people's, a summary of the foolery that she. Man, I can't even get my words together. I'm giving everybody a summary of what she's alleging that she went through, but she just had a chance to possibly put him behind bars in 2008 and didn't say anything, and she was just happy for him in 2008 that the verdict came out not guilty. She just said this, that she in 2008, and I forget about that when the verdict came out in 2008 that she was happy for him. She just said it. Exactly. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. And that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. She was just happy for him when that verdict came out in 2008. You know what I'm saying? The whole time your family is knowing that this is going on. The whole time. Your father, you know what I'm saying, biological whatever, just passed away in 21. In 21. So back in 2008, he was still living. Where was her parents in the courtroom with her? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like they knew, like she was with it. Now you faking tears, man. This is some bullshit.
And he was allowed to hurt so many people because I lied. That did not sit well with me as an adult.
So why lie?
Is that the moment you decided you were going to cooperate with federal investigators?
Yes, it was in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It was a breaking point for me,
Man,
for sure.
breaking point my ass.
I really want people to understand your perspective about how difficult this was and the psychological factor, because you put it out there in the book because you want people to understand it. It's almost like you're talking to the reader at times when you say, now listen, I know you might think this, or even the way you've protected folks in the book, you don't really go in about things you clearly know. It's almost like you are saying, I want to stick to my story and I don't want to make judgment on other people for their decisions.
That is right.
But you talk about this conflict of a back and forth, even with the text messages that the defense showed in court to say, well, wait a minute. They were texting like, hey, how's it going? Are you good? I'll call my mom. She recently lost her mom. And, they're trying to create this
A
image that you're
narrative?
fine. For people that don't understand what that's like to be you and in that position, help folks understand this. You say the cognitive dissonance, but also this back and forth dance of trying to tell yourself, I'm good, I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's why we're cool. Almost like you almost have to have that power too to say, you don't have power over me because see, look, we're good. You can text me and I'll text you back.
That is very true. And what I will say about that is not everything about Robert was terrible, even though it was that way most of the time. Not everything about him. This was a person that I did feel like I loved and I grew into loving. And he was family in some areas. Not everything about him was terrible. The moments were, though, very frequently. But it was just a battle of me convincing myself, like, I made it out. I'm good now. I can be cool with him. I can see him with other women.
Once again, she just said, I could be cool with him. I could see him with other women. So that just let me know I should have been a detective, because that just let me know that y'all was in a relationship. That's why, and I got very good discernment, because that's why she said, I couldn't believe that, what she say? I couldn't believe that it wasn't just me, it was other women. That's because y'all was in an underage, ongoing relationship. You was in an ongoing relationship. Ongoing relationship with him. Or an underage relationship that was going on. And your people was cool with that. Maybe he could make her a star because this is R. Kelly. So once you found out, just like any other woman or young girl, you feel some type of way once you find out you're not the only one, right? So that lets me know that you really felt some type of way about this, right? Because you you felt some type of way once you found out you wasn't the only woman. So that lets everybody know that y'all was in a relationship. That's why you didn't want to see. That's why you didn't want him to go to prison or jail, because you knew this was somebody you was messing around with. Y'all was in a relationship, so you felt some type of way. So all the crocodile tears and all of that. If you was really up here crying, like, come on, man, come on. It's blatantly to see. You know what I'm saying? You could see this from a mile 10 miles away that she was with R.Kelly. You know what I'm saying? That's why you feel the way you feel. Point blank, period.
I tried to maintain whatever friendship. I still loved his children, and
Oh my God.
honestly, I cared about his well-being, even outside of just, like.
She cared about his well-being. See, this is what I'm saying. Everything that we need to know, she's saying it. I don't have to say anything. She was with it. Her peoples was with it. She cared about his well-being. So really, he didn't even violate you. Your family sold you off at 14 years old because they thought he could make you this big mega star or whatever, because you cared about this guy, right? She cared about him. That's why she was feeling some type of way when she found out she wasn't the only one, because she was already in a relationship with him. Point blank, period. The face, look at that. It just looked fake. Like, come on, man. Come on. Come on. I'm not retarded.
like everything that was happening. So it was a battle internally for me to fully, let go of somebody that I had been groomed into fully being dependent
No, no,
upon.
no, no, no,
And
no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It was hard for you to let go of somebody that you was in a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? That you was in a relationship with. That's what it was. It was hard for you to let go because you was in a relationship with him from the age of 14. So like I said, if her mother is still living, go lock her up. You know what I'm saying? Go and prosecute her, because they was with it from day one. Everybody was with it. They all was with it. Maybe the only person that really wasn't with it was Sparkle, just to say the least. They was all with it.
In March of that same year, so shortly after the R. Kelly docuseries comes out on Lifetime, Gayle King sat down with him and the two women that he was in a relationship with at the time. Did you happen to see that?
I did.
When you saw him react in the way
But she
that
seen
he
that
did
though, right?
about this, you're trying to take my life, and I thought about playing that for you, but I don't even want you to have to see him
Oh my
because I think
God.
it's not necessary. But
Of course it's not, because she know
when you
what's up.
saw that version of him, as you talk about, it wasn't like this all the time. But did you feel for him, or did you think he's going down and he's scared?
Well, first I thought it was very Broadway of him to act like that. That was very normal for him to have that type of response. And when I
Oh
heard those
man.
girls
So all of
speak,
y'all is just some actors.
I knew exactly who was talking to them. I knew exactly what mission they had, the convincing, the firmness, everything that I had been trained and groomed to do. I read right in between that.
Wow. So you just see, she just said it again. Everything I've been groomed and trained to do. So you know she's probably more of an actress than she is a singer or whatever she was trying to become. So you know how to fake tears and cry and put on this facade that you was really hurt and all this and that. Yeah, you was hurt because you found out that he was messing around with other underage females and you didn't want to be the only one. Plus having a wife and stuff like that and kids at the time. Bravo, good job.
And in that moment, I did not feel sorry for him at all.
Oh, now you don't
I
feel
felt
sorry
like
for him.
you still don't get it. You're still convincing yourself of all the lies that you are, bleeding into everyone else. And I knew exactly what took place was getting ready to happen. And he was very scared. He knew it too.
As you sit here today, do you feel like you are completely healed?
No, I'm a work in progress. I have a long road ahead of me, but I can look back and I know exactly where I come from. And I can see the stars now.
Now you can see the stars.
I wanted you to, if you would, read something that I think would be best if we heard it from you. And this is the grace note. I highlighted this section because, I'm not going to make you read all 3 or 4 pages.
Okay.
But I think it would be important to hear this in your own words.
Yes, absolutely.
And the last part.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dear beautiful soul, it's you. It's always been you.
You know what? I just might go and buy the
You were
book.
the girl with saucers for eyes.
I might have to just go buy the book.
And the world was a buffet.
Because I gotta
spread out
see
in
this.
front of you.
I gotta read
You
this.
were the girl who spit rhymes and played basketball with all you had. You loved your parents and especially your baby brother. You loved going to church. You were a friend. Reshona Landfair. Don't believe yourself not to be good enough. There is no yardstick for good enough. You are a girl, perfectly imperfect human being. You could not have lived your life in reverse. There was no way for you to know what you know now. So if you don't remember anything else, remember that children don't protect themselves from danger. Let go and let God.
Yeah,
No one else
I
holds
am.
power over your mind, body, or spirit. It's taken a while for you to arrive at the sure footing of this knowledge,
Definitely is, Mike.
but it's a good place to be. This is your moment. It's good to be you. God willing, you have more living and loving and growing to do. Go live in your truth and walk in your light. Embrace this next chapter in your journey with anticipation that God will plant new dreams in the fertile soil of your heart. Love you times infinity, Reshona.
Man.
How proud are you of yourself?
I'm very proud of myself. I've come a long way. A lot of cold nights. But I mean,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
And what she said there at the end is, but I am here today. And that is really at the core of her book. She's now a mother of a 5-year-old son. We did reach out to her aunt Sparkle, who said she is relieved that Reshona is in her healing journey. Sparkle also said this: any suggestion that I groomed, facilitated, or enabled harm to my niece is untrue and deeply painful. As for R.Kelly, who is currently serving sentences for 2 federal convictions, an attorney representing him told us they could not comment on specific allegations in the book without reading it. The attorney added that Kelly wishes Reshona success and peace at all levels.
Man, listen. She was with it. Bottom line. That's just all it is to it. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing, what I was getting taken from it was that she got sold off by her parents at the age of 14. She found out years down the line, which she probably already knew, that he was messing around. This is what he was into. She was on the infamous 2001 sex tape. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is this, because y'all didn't hear Aaliyah's the things that Aaliyah went through with R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? And Aaliyah wasn't messing around with him before Aaliyah had got with Timbaland and Missy and all them. You know what I mean? Because when her introduction in the music business was R. Kelly, that's when a couple of years down the line she gets with Missy and Timbaland. So y'all didn't pay attention to none of that. And it was certain things at the time, a little bit coming out, just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no social media, it wasn't no Instagram and YouTube and Facebook like that around. So, okay. But even at 17, 18, 19, you knew what it was, because even when you had a chance to help put him away, you didn't help put him away. You was happy. That was the whole key thing that I got from everything she was saying. She was happy that the verdict came out not guilty, because it gave her a chance to, you know what I'm saying, a chance to rekindle things with him. She didn't care about her being underage when she first met him at the age of 14. She didn't care about her parents selling her off. She just strictly cared about her being around R. Kelly, and she was happy that he got off. But in 2008, that he beat the verdict. If you really felt that way, you would have never been happy. You would have never, ever, ever, ever in a million years, in 100 years, in the next lifetime would have been happy that he got off. That he got off that he beat that verdict. The crocodile tears and all of that. Come on, man. Yeah, her parents should have got time. Most definitely. Most definitely. I don't know if her mother is still alive. You know, her father passed away 2021. But if you anybody that ever has ever got violated, even from a celebrity, an everyday person, is not going. They gonna want to see that person rot in hell. You know what I'm saying? Lay in piss. So you mean to tell me you was happy that he beat the verdict in 2008, but he allegedly violated you? Okay, yeah, maybe he did, but you was with it. You was with it the whole. You was with the whole shenanigans. You was with it. You was with it, and this is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? This is just how I feel about it. But everything that we wanted to know, she finally came out. You know, Reshona Landfair, yeah, you know what I'm saying? She finally is, has spoken her truth after many, 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 many years. You know what I'm saying? Her book is out. I don't know the name of her book, but her book is out. You know what I'm saying? And it just doesn't make sense. None of this really makes sense to me because anybody that violates you in that type of way, I mean, it's people that get violated for less and feel some type of way. So you mean to tell me you got violated sexually, and when it came time where you could have possibly been a big key factor to put him away, you didn't? Man, let me know how y'all feel about this situation. Drop them comments in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Tay Luciano Media. I just did a dope interview, a pretty decent interview, because it's only going to get better and better from here on out with Uncasa. Shout out to Uncasa. Many interviews is on the way. You know what I'm saying? Next up, I'm interviewing Gully TV. I got a lot of people that I'm trying to reach out to and interview. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to pursue over and beyond of just reactions. You know what I'm saying? Bring y'all dope interviews, people y'all probably never seen or thought I could probably reach out to. But, make sure y'all go check out that Uncasa interview I just put out. You know what I'm saying? I put it in the bet. I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sell that book, Queen. You got it right. But definitely go check out my Uncasa interview. It was a dope interview. Shout out to him. More to come. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Tay Luciano Media. I'll be back at y'all soon. Peace.